Hey Jeff, how are you? I'm very well, thank you. I'm good. Yeah, I'm in your hometown. I'm in Boston. I just thought, why don't we get together and go for a drive if you're about? Just have a chat. Yeah, definitely. Okay, I'll pick you up in about 10 minutes. How you doing?
I'm doing
nice
good.
to see you.
Nice to see you. How are you doing?
I'm good. I thought, why not? Let's go for a drive. Let's talk.
Go.
Let's have a chat. When you think of the outcomes of DEX and the value it provides, I'm thinking of two sides really. One is the actual employees of an organisation, your employees when you're at GE, for example. So, and when you think about the value to them and the outcomes to them, as well as the outcomes to the IT side of the house in terms of the people that are running these platforms and sort of driving a better digital employee experience. How do you think about the outcomes and the value for those two type examples?
I've been a big believer and a practitioner around employee experience, user-centered design, when you're designing solutions for humans, and think that any dollar you spend in that space has a positive ROI. How do you remediate that proactively? Proactive remediation is the crown jewel for a lot of this. Mm-hmm. I would actually say remediation avoidance is even better.
Yeah.
So DEX is, in this space, is equal parts driving the right experience for the humans that use these devices, but it's also around lowering the type of work that you have to do, the quantity of work, the duration of that work for the IT operators, and sort of do more with less, because no one's getting any more labor to really drive excellence into these programs. So we have to use tools like 1E to really drive that excellence into the program. So all of our customers collectively in the enterprise are trying to stretch their investment dollars as far as humanly possible. There is plenty of evidence that CIOs are trying to take their existing budgets for the core IT, so this is cloud, network, storage, and workplace, and trying to reinvest some of the dollars that are saved into their own digitization efforts, because 8 out of 10 customers are replacing PCs based on a calendar, or they are, and I use the term, sweating the assets as far as they possibly can and waiting for them to break before they replace them. Well, employees don't really appreciate it when you sweat their assets, because they just have a miserable experience and they have a very poor perspective of the company and their efforts to keep them productive. And employees know when they're not being productive, and when they know that their input into their job does not match the expected output of what they think that they should be getting or getting done, then they feel like they're not making a difference. And again, plenty of evidence that says that they're voting around that situation and by leaving.
There's been this huge drive in the market around DEX. Forrester created the Forrester Wave recently. There's obviously a lot of focus, attention. It seems to be an executive level discussion. It's a boardroom topic. Why is that at the moment? Why now is it such a big topic?
That's Boston.
Okay.
I think DEX was probably much more of a labor-oriented topic previously, and now, despite the fact that these devices have always had the telemetry sitting on them, there wasn't a lot of innovation and a lot of, adoption into these tools to harness that data and do something with it. From my vantage point, there isn't a single company that we talk to that the topic around a DEX tool doesn't come up with. Our partnership with 1E is wrapped up into something we call uptime device management. So uptime is an umbrella term. Uptime is a portal experience. We call it the gateway, where we provide a website for the employees of our customers, and they go and they can order hardware, they can manage it and self-management. So if I need an upgrade, I can process all of that inside of Uptime. I can transfer ownership to Mark here. I can say it's broken, and how do I get it to be fixed? We can use a virtual agent to have a conversation to fix it. And we've even got a great sort of, call it a tri-party partnership with one of our virtual agent partner, where I can ask the virtual agent saying, my PC is acting very, very slow. Can I fix it? And the virtual agent's talking directly with 1E and saying, what's the problem? Oh, you got a driver conflict. You want us to fix it. And the virtual agent is doing that automated without a human being involved. So I'm just sort of talking about the functionality opportunities. And that sort of automated self-service solution is just quite literally spectacular. And every time we show things and talk about things like that with our customers, we get phenomenal responses. We go into a customer and say, hey, listen, you have your fleet, this is how you're managing it. Putting 1E on top of that will allow us to drive excellence both in awareness through discovery. So what do you have, what's on it, even looking at the apps and utilization. We can save the money on software licenses as we feed that into our software licensing management group. And we really just overall have a much better perspective of what's in the environment. And this is where we say, listen, Mr. Customer, you're gonna see benefits on the devices and the way we manage them, but you're also gonna see an improvement on the experience side. I call it pennies in a jar. Like every time you put a penny in a jar, it doesn't feel like much. But when you put 100 pennies in a jar, now you've got something of more value, and then you got 1,000 pennies in the jar, and now you're really making some value for the employees right now. Or on the flip side, we're telling the customers, if you don't do these little things, that's where it becomes death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Right. Yeah.
And you end up sort of saying you're taking away the experience from people every day. And at the end of this, they're end up going to leave the company. They're just frustrated. They're not getting anything done.
Yeah.
When I talk to my teams whether in India or all spread out over Europe and the rest of APAC, they keep telling me that, where, at the ground level where people are solving problems for individual customers. And again, we have 17,000 men and women that come to work every day solving customer problems. And the 1E team is unbelievably proactive, helping us, partnering with us, not only pre-sales, but in the middle of the work that we do to get them to a point of understanding that they bought the right team, partner, and they've got the right tools in place and they're getting the value. And so there's just examples of that, around our organization of the partnership, not only existing at our level, but also deep within my organization that's very large. And that's the stuff that creates some anxiety for us, because we can talk all day long around, a partnership at a deal level and the schematics of how we pull that off. But what's really meaningful is the team of individuals at 1E that really connect with mine.
Yeah. The huge value, which we've really latched onto as our core value proposition, is remediation. Actually, Forrester in their recent report called us a remediation powerhouse. And why is remediation so important? Why does it drive so much value?
So we have a vested interest in being a remediation powerhouse on our side.
Yeah.
And so you provide us with tremendous capabilities to do that, but then our engineers are looking at our customers' environments and harnessing all of the data that you provide us and all the scripts and customizing them to the way that we do things. So there's some things that we do that really improve the overall posture and environment that our customers want, especially in cases where we still have customers that have some really bespoke solutions. So we're trying to get away from that. Standardization is key, but where there isn't, we need tools to manage this effectively. So I think that's the way I see it.
We're seeing this big, pretty much a tsunami now of people moving towards DEX. I think Gartner said, 5% of enterprises today have a DEX strategy or solution. And within the next 3 years, it'll be 50%, which is a lot of the momentum we're seeing in the market, also with our partnership. What's next with DEX?
You cannot capture easily how someone feels in that moment where they feel like their career is on the line because of something that's related to the device or software.
Right.
And so this, almost like hooked up to a heart rate monitor, your experience fluctuates all over the place. So I think in the world of data transparency, I want to know, is this company taking care of me? And not every company is going to have the same DEX score, because some companies are sweating their assets. Some people are not paying attention. Some people buy a PC that is value engineered to be the lowest power, to last for a few hours after its refresh date. And those will all translate to DEX scores overall. So I kind of think about the world of this in sort of, both what does it mean to the IT operator and then what does it mean to the employee? I think that's part of the win for employee. If you can have triggers or flares go up when certain problems occur and take action on those, so that the employee knows that you are paying attention. I think that at the end of the day, there's this whole, paradox of IT service disruption. I don't think I quoted it perfectly, but you can Google it. But it's where if you don't have a problem with your services over time, your sentiment or your loyalty to that product or service stays kind of constant. It's kind of like a straight line. It just goes up, but ever so slightly.
Yeah.
But if you have a problem and that problem was resolved in a way that exceeded your expectations around that, the remediation of that problem, your loyalty to that brand or that service is actually 2x what it would be if you never had a problem.
What I'm hearing from organizations is kind of what you're saying, is that the differentiator for employees will be DEX.
All it takes is a pandemic to understand that digital transformation can happen at hyperspeed.